everyone, Melanie here with the final flip through of my Just Junk Journal Challenge journal hosted by Dear Julie Julie here on YouTube and on Facebook. I'll put the links in the description down below. So this is going to be the flip through of my final challenge journal that I'm submitting, and then I'm going to show you really quickly, hopefully, how I'm going to use this journal. So kind of start putting it to use. So this journal is made out of an Anthropologie shopping bag, and I think that Anthropologie does these seasonally, Christmas, times like that. I didn't go to Anthropologie this Christmas, so I didn't get a bag, but I have two more of these Anthropologie shopping bags that I'm hoarding to make other journals out of. So this is what it started as, is one of these journals. And I do have another video that I recorded that I've already posted that's also tagged with the JJJC Junk Journal Challenge that you can watch, where I made this bag and put the papers into it. So the outside of the bag is an Anthropologie shopping bag. The inside here is the backing from two 12 by 12 paper pads, and that's just glued in to give the cover some weight. And then what I used for the pages of this book are pieces of paper that I have from my daughter's eighth grade year. Mostly that turned out, what I grabbed turned out to be math, but you can see also how I glued these together to make these larger pages, because what I wanted to use this journal for is a glue book. And so the other video also has how I glued these in. So that's what the pages are made of. And then I used just this regular garden twine for the binding, and I waxed it and then sewed the signatures in. There's 3 signatures, sewed the signatures in with that twine. So that's how my journal turned out. This is the finished journal. So now that it's finished, and I'm submitting it for the challenge, now I get to use it. So now that I'm at the using it point, I can do some things to it that I couldn't do before because they were on the list. One of the main things I want to do is reinforce this spine right here. When I make journals out of these 2 bags, I will, once I get to this stage, before I put the binding or anything in, I'm gonna cover this, on the inside I would cover this with fabric and put like a fabric muslin strip or something that I would glue in place, and maybe even cover this also. And I could have done that with an extra piece of clothing from the challenge, but I didn't have a piece of clothing because I had finally gotten rid of all the stuff that I had set aside to get rid of, and I literally could not find a piece of clothing that I wanted to get rid of. So that would be what I would do when I was to make this again. But what I'm gonna do for this one is I wanna go ahead and reinforce these edges. I decided what I'm gonna do on the outside is just use some packing tape. So this is just a piece of packing tape. So when I say a glue book, I have another video, I think I did another one already, of glue books that I keep as inspiration journals. Even though I do have huge collection of things on Pinterest, I also love magazines and printed material, as most of us junk journalers do. So I like to save those things. Okay, so that's gonna just reinforce the outside of this a little bit. The other thing I thought about doing is that I could take a piece of muslin, or that's 3 or so inches wide at this point, and kind of take these down. I could just glue that over this entire spine and just cover the whole thing. And I might still do that too. But I also wanted to reinforce these on the inside. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and use duct tape. So the next thing is I brought my big binder of magazine cutouts and stuff. And I think I have a couple of sleeves in here full of decorating ideas, or you know, things I've torn out of. This one says home and decor. Stuff out of here. So this will be a it'll be kitchens and anywhere in the house. That is one thing I have with magazine articles and stuff, is sometimes there's something good on both sides. So with those, I would usually just go ahead and put whatever I'm gonna put on my page, and then I would just tape this in as a flip-in page. So the ones I glued down are only the food. I don't want that. The ones I glue down are single-sided. These happen to all be double-sided. What a great cover that is. Wouldn't that make a pretty, that would be pretty just right there. Put that whole thing in there. Oh, and then because it has like, oops, because it says house and garden, then I could, that could be like the type, you know, you can see how this, oh, how do I decide? I'll do this one as a flip in. They're all great. Oh, I really want to live, oh, I want to live here. Look at that wallpaper. Okay, this might not be the best one to put in first because they're all double-sided. This looks like gardening stuff. Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier. I keep losing my... Sometimes when I tear these things out, it may not be that it's the whole room that I like. It may just be that there's one thing about it that I liked. That's a really cool collage wall. So it's not necessarily the whole thing. It's something about it that I loved. I'm sure in this one, I mean, in this one, there's multiple things that I love. I love that coffee table. I love these chairs. I love that sideboard. This is really cool, that pegboard in there. I mean, I'm just gonna find some pages that are basically single-sided that I wanna glue in. And what's also kind of funny is that if I tear these things out and then sit on them, oh, look at that. If I tear these things out and then I sit on them for, you know, a couple of years before I decide to glue them in, sometimes I look back at them and I think, ugh, why did I tear that out? Or what did I like about that? So let me get these out of the way, and we'll just glue a couple more of these in just so you can see what I was thinking as far as what I'm going to use this book for. So this one I'm going to have to trim down just a little bit. This is a really cool room, except for those cutouts of those people. That would totally freak me out if that was in the corner of my room. I don't really think I would like that. These are cool too. This is like looks like stepping stones, but they're pieces of carpet. They're rounds of carpet. So I'm not necessarily going in any kind of order with these. I like, though, how funky that is. might like something, because I've kind of got a blue thing going on, so I think I'll wait and find something blue to put there. I really like that. I like all that art on the wall. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a full page in here. You know, these glue books are fun because they're good for me also, because if it weren't for the fact that I tore these things out and glued them in to something, I would keep all these magazines. And although I do like to keep magazines, if it's a really good issue, I just keep the whole magazine. But usually I don't need all of these magazines. So I'm gonna keep going with this, but this is how I'm gonna end up using my journal that I made for the Just Junk Journal Challenge. So I wanna thank Dear Julie again for hosting. This one was a lot of fun. I did the Christmas dollar store Christmas challenge, and then so this is my second Dear Julie challenge, and I've heard that for next month she's actually talking about doing something with fabric, and I am a quilter, so when it comes to fabric I have a near endless supply of fabric that I can use in journals and stuff. So that's pretty exciting to me to see what kind of challenge she has that I could put some of my scraps to work. So I'll just keep going through and putting all these together, and then I'm gonna want to redecorate my house after I look at all these things. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like this video, if you found anything inspiring, please hit the like button down below. And I'm gonna keep trying to make more videos, some tutorials and some flip throughs and things I have on a list to go ahead and do. So subscribe if you like my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.